So it's quite unreal to finally meet you. I have to admit, I'm listening to Labyrinthe since 1998 when
Oh,
Return to Heaven Denied was released, and I was way younger back then, and I felt in love with that album. I was discovering like Rhapsody and all the nice Italian power metal band, and still to date, it was one of my favorite album. But there's a new album that was out like late January, and it's called Into the Vanishing Echoes of Goodbye. And please tell me it's not an indication that the band will split after that album.
I don't know. I don't know. Every time we do something, we decide something, it's absolutely because in that moment we feel that's the right direction. So the title was perfectly fitting with the music and with the lyrics. But at the same time, my friend, I can say that we really don't know nothing about our future because
Oh,
uh, la-
truly.
yeah, because Labyrinth anyway, anyhow, is a strange band. For 4 or 5 years and maybe more between an album and another. So
Sometimes
um,
seven.
and sometimes seven, of course, of course. So we really don't know what the future will bring to us. Of course, as soon as we have people that wants to listen to our music, as soon as we have a label that wants to produce an album, for us it means that we will go on. But we were discussing about this exactly today with the band.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, yeah, we were discussing about this, and the problem is also coming from the fact that this band plays very few gigs during the year,
Yeah,
and if you wanna be on the scene, you must be uh, more present inside social media, for example. And we are absolutely far from social media. We are 50 years old gentlemen that, of course, we use social media, but not in the way in which nowadays you need to be and stay on the social media. So uh,
totally.
about everything, that's the reason why I can say to you and I can say to the people that follow you and this wonderful interview that maybe will be our last album or maybe not. It depends about what will happens in during this year because we have some projects, but um, not it's absolutely not easy in 2025 with heavy metal to do pronostics or whatever.
Yeah, there's so many bands and it costs so much just to produce an album, and it's really difficult to get rewarded. Uh
Exactly,
to
exactly.
place your product, and a lot of people are not buying anything from the band, so they just listen to the music. So what will be the best way to encourage Labyrinth with this new record, obviously, but with the merch in general, if we want to give back to the band and maybe get a new album in the future, since this new one, I think it's one of the strongest album you have ever released, and we'll
Uh,
talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that one, and I think the reaction so far have been amazing.
yeah, you're right. The reactions are absolutely amazing all over the world, and that surprised also us because, of course,
Oh yeah,
we are. Yeah,
you
because
never know, huh?
yeah, you never know because you do your job, you write your music, but Labyrinth doesn't write music to please at all the people. Of course, we have to please our follower, our fans, and at first we have to please ourselves, trying to be
Totally.
honest, every time we try to write a song. So uh, everything started absolutely in a great way, but exactly as I told you before, we just face the hard reality about okay, yeah, you can play, but for really few money, and when you are 50 years old, you cannot leave home for nothing. You cannot leave your family. You cannot leave, and some of us in the band has other jobs, and not only
Yeah, yeah,
they're not at all.
obviously.
So I'm a musician. Uh, 24/7 in my life because I decided to do that years ago. So I'm maybe the only we are into me and the bass player that we play that we live 100% with music. But believe me, it's really tough. It's really hard. And when it comes to heavy metal, it's worse than
Harder.
ever nowadays, harder. But yeah, at least we are very happy and proud of the reaction of the people around the world, of the reaction about the press around the world about this album. Uh, we see we had some offers to play really poor, really stupid. So of course we are not Iron Maiden, we are not Metallica, and we don't pretend so much money. But what we pretend is that small amount of money that means okay, I can leave home for a while and play and return home with something in my pockets. That's what, and
Yeah.
also because of the history of this band. But at the same time, the history of a band is not so important nowadays. It's, as I told you before, it's more important to be um, 24 hours on 24 on this stupid social and whatever. That's the problem. But believe
Yeah.
me, we are thinking about something new after this album. We are really thinking about that. But as I told you, who knows? We see in the future.
And what's the best way to encourage you? It was the first part of my question, but I talked so
Yeah,
much.
I know. It's not easy. It's not easy because, uh, of course, uh, it's not up to you. It's not up to me. It's not up to the people that wants to see us on stage. But it's up to the market. So the
Yeah.
problem is coming always from the market, and of course we cannot try to find, for example, an agency, um, but at the same time the agency ask to a band to be available always. And for us it's become a little bit harder to say yes, we are available
Yeah.
always because of the job, because of many other things. But I don't know, we see.
If we want to buy the album or t-shirts or merch from the band, it's on your website or Facebook,
You
or
can,
where's the best place?
well, actually you can.
Bandcamp?
The best thing is go straight to the Frontiers
Oh,
website.
Frontiers Record. Okay.
Frontiers Records website. We also produce a wonderful. They also produce a wonderful double vinyl this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a wonderful double vinyl. We have the CD. They also produce the T-shirts, and we produce our T-shirts. So will be easy to find on Frontiers Record Company everything, but also asking straight to us, maybe through our page on Facebook or whatever. So and of course we have merchandise for the gigs. So we will have gigs in May in Italy. We will have something in Spain in August. So we will bring with us our merchandise. But if you want to have the album right now, or Frontiers or Amazon, because the
Okay.
CD is
Great.
is, is on Amazon, easy to find it on Amazon. Not the vinyl actually, and it's a pity, but for sure the CD.
Great. So you heard it. Go encourage these guys. And if you want to hear the album first, it's about time to give it a listen.
Yeah,
And um, how you will describe, because I can talk about that album for the next 20 minutes, but I want your take at it, how it was in the songwriting process to be with all the guys again, and how these songs have taken their shape that we actually can hear them.
sure. Well, this time, one of the reasons why this album, uh, for many people, is a very good album is because we decided to work in the old style process. So we went straight to the rehearsal room, and we decided to plug the instruments, plug the microphone, and say, okay, let's see what we can do if we try to jam. And we try to jam riffs, try to jam vocals, rhythms. So actually, the six of us made this album possible playing together. So
Oh, wow.
exactly, yeah, exactly as the great bands did in the 70s, in the 80s, and in the beginning of 90s. So everything is so organic because everything sounded. We felt when something was good, and we felt when something was wrong. So it was easy for us. I think we in 4 days, 4 or 5 days, we have the entire album. And after we had all the
What the
music,
hell?
yeah, yeah. Because we wanted to, we absolutely wanted to produce music. So we were angry for music. We wanted to do that. We wanted to write songs. And um, after that, I took care about the lyrics and I wrote all the lyrics. And in that case, the process was a little bit longer and without any stress. I took my time to write what I wanted to say on this album. And of course, then the recording session for the album came in a different way, of course. So Mattia, the drummer, went in the studio to Simone Mularoni, and so he recorded
I
the
love that
drums.
guy.
I know.
Oh my
Um,
God.
believe me,
DJM
believe
and everything he's touching turns gold. Oh,
absolutely, Simone. For I consider Simone the seventh element of this band because Simone knows exactly what we need, knows exactly what kind of sound, knows exactly how to manage with my voice, knows exactly everything about this band. So Mattia went to Simone and recording the drums, and the rest of the instruments were recorded by ourselves in
oh,
our own structure because it was the faster and best process. But what as I told you, what happens at first is that we were absolutely together writing down an album. So, and that's the difference. When you talk about music, you have to talk about the old school. The old school says, "Go inside and stupid, and
and
and and
jam.
stinky rehearsal room, stay together and see what happens." That's the only way. And I have to say that we are absolutely proud of what we wrote because it's exactly what we wanted to write and what we wanted to hear in this album.
I guess so. And when you will look back at that album in few years, uh, that's the state of mind you had at that place in your life. So it's like a stamp
Oh,
of okay, we were there, and lyrically and also musically. And I thought that album has something different. All the Labyrinthe album have a lot of emotion, but I thought this one was capturing really like Return to Even the Night, the part two of Return to Even the Night, and I really like the last few album, The Absurd Circus, and that's a song. The what's the name of the full album?
arch, archi- so
Architecture of the God
God,
is
yeah,
2017, but
yeah.
2021 is
Welcome to the Absurd Circus.
Welcome to the Absurd Circus. There's the song The Absurd Circus, which is
Exactly.
grandiose. But
Yeah.
I thought this one was a little bit better, and it's an
Yeah.
album that you can listen to from start to finish, and there's no skipper, no fillers that you
Exactly.
ah
But we consider this album, these three album that you mentioned,
yeah.
Architecture, Walk, and In the Vanishing, like three chapters
Oh,
of our life in these last 10 years, and these three chapters, and this last one, it's the end of these three chapters. So um, it's a consequence of the other two albums before, and
oh.
that's the reason why we don't know what we will do in the future because it's not easy. It's not easy also to have to write good music. So As
Yeah.
soon as we can, we do. But it won't. I will tell you something that maybe it's alpha secret. Um, we are ready to produce actually another album that it won't be a real album. It will be a sort of compilation, but with all songs played nowadays. So we
Oh,
replay again some old songs, and we put also two new songs. And I think that this thing will be ready for the second part of this year,
oh
2025.
yeah, already.
Yeah, for many reasons we have to do this. Also for reasons of contracts with the label, we have to do
Oh,
this.
okay.
But of course, it won't be a real album. It will be a compilation, but we re-recorded song. So it will be funny to take some song, for example, from Sons of Thunder and re-sung and re-record
Yeah.
everything. And nowadays to listen the effects on certain kind of song.
And
So
with the same production for all those songs, because you will play
of
songs
course,
from all the eras
exactly.
or of Labyrinth. Every single
Exactly.
album will have at least a song, or some albums will be skipped.
I don't know. We really have to understand now, but I guess that we will concentrate ourselves more on the very old stuff of the band. So
Oh,
maybe one tune from Return, maybe a couple of tunes or maybe three from Sons of Thunder, because Sons of Thunder was the one with the worst production, for example, in terms of
it's
sound.
especially after the really good production of Return. I thought the
Exactly.
production on Sons was
Exactly.
lacking a little bit. It's not a nightmare for production at all. It's
No,
very listenable, but it can be better.
exactly.
I think songs like Chapter 1, Catherine, Elegy, uh, I really love those songs, and they can really benefit from a better production.
Exactly, and that's why we want to redo maybe two or three songs from that album because uh, that song deserves a better sound. For example, then maybe we take something from 6 Days or something. I don't know from Freeman also because
Face
even
and
if
Pay. Please do Face
Senpei,
and Pay. That's my favorite song from that album.
I love it, I love it, and also Olaf that in that moment wasn't in the band.
Yeah.
He told me that he really like songs like Freeman or Face and Pay. So maybe we will give a chance also to those kind of songs. And as I told you, a couple of new songs, uh, just as bonus tracks.
Two brand new songs. Okay.
Exactly, two brand new songs.
I
Exactly.
will suggest also In the Shades and
Yeah,
Out
why
of
not?
Memory from the Hippie. It
Why
was
not? No, out of
incredible
memory,
songs.
great.
Those two
Yeah,
songs are incredible. Save Me for
I
sure.
love it.
Yeah. And I think since we were talking a little bit of the period that Olaf Carlo Magnani,
Magnani, Carlo
yeah,
Magnani, yes.
that's his real name, and but AKA Olaf Thorsen, one of my favorite guitar player ever. And the period he wasn't in the band, I think the first album was the eponymous album, and
Yeah,
that album sounded like a really good continuation of the sound of the band. But then
true.
with Freeman and 6 Days to Nowhere, you went more experimental and trying new things, and the production was really different also. Uh,
Absolutely.
I really love the first one, the eponymous album. I think The Prophet is one of your best songs. Uh,
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that period when Olaf decided to leave and how it went with all the other guys.
Well, it was 2002, and Olaf uh,
Vision
want
Divine, obviously.
exactly. Olaf wanted to concentrate more on Vision Divine than Labyrinth, and maybe also me, him, and Andrea Cantarelli, we started to have not problems between us. Absolutely, we never had problems between us, but we had actually different conception, different points of view, and that's the reason why. we wanted to leave the nicknames because I had enough of Rob Tyrant, and this is one was another point of discussion between us and Olaf. And Olaf wanted to keep it, and he keep it actually, and he
Yeah,
kept.
he still has.
It was his choice, but wasn't our choice. And sometimes can sound stupid, a thing like this, but it wasn't stupid at the moment because we really wanted to change something. As you noticed, we did an album like Labÿrinth in 2003, recorded in 2002, that uh, that was exactly the typical Labÿrinth album in a way or another, and we recorded it with just one guitar player. Everything was recorded by Andrea Cantarelli.
Andrea,
Yeah,
so
even if
good.
on the album there is the picture of Pierre Gonnella, but Pierre wasn't involved. Pierre arrived in the band after we recorded the album. So of course it's a quite typical Labyrinthe album, even if for the song "Stay Down" actually that was particular song, not a typical Labyrinth song, but was a. If you take "Slave to the Night," if you take
Oh, Slave to the Night,
"The Prophet,"
incredible.
so
This
"Synthetic Ballad,"
world, this world
this
with
one,
that bass. Bam, 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 bam,
exactly,
bam. Love that
exactly.
song.
So it was quite Labyrinth. Then during the years, during after this album, we decided to change a little bit, um, and also on 6 Days to Nowhere. But believe me, we didn't decide it intentionally.
Oh,
We just follow our mood in that moment, exactly as we did for this album or the new albums that we did in these years. So no one decided, okay, we have to change because of the mood of the moment. So we really doesn't care about what happens in music. What take influences in our music is the world, not the music, and not what it works on the market. So in that moment, we decided to change many things. And I remember when we released songs, when we released Freeman, that everybody said, it's a shit, it's not Labyrinth, sounds terrible, it's not a good album at all. Uh, and it's funny that and I always start to laugh when I meet people that people that I know that in the past say that that album was a shit, that nowadays say
they liked
no,
it.
it's a great album. Sorry, we didn't understand in that moment, but it's a great album. Okay, fuck off, I have to say, but but
But
of course
it's
that's life.
expectations. I have
Hey,
to say it's a different album, but I think you have some of the elements of Labyrinth. You have it's just the speed is not there anymore, but the feel
exactly.
is there. Your voice sound amazing, like on all the other records. The only thing I will complain about that album, Freeman, is maybe the production could have been a little bit better. Uh,
Oh,
if I compare to the self-titled album, which has a
oh,
really good, more polished production, obviously,
agree with you, agree with you.
but there's so many good songs on Freeman, the title
Also,
track.
also, for example, Malcolm Gray for me is a song that I keep it in my heart. I love
Yeah.
it. It's a strange kind of ballad with a strange kind of story coming from the keyboard player that he told me, hey, I have a story for the ballad. Okay, tell me. He told me the story. I wrote the lyrics. So it was fun. It was great. And anyway, if I have to be honest, 100%. Also in that moment, we had fun. We went off the track, of course, but was great.
It's
Was
okay
it was okay, and at
as
the
an
same
artist.
exactly, and at the same time was good when in 2008 Olaf went to me. We played together in a project in a live project in Italy, and during this gig, he went to me saying, "Listen, what do you think if I rejoin the band and we do Return to Heaven the Night Part 2?" I said, "Okay,
Oh,
let's
it
do
came
it."
from there. Oh, wow.
Exactly, exactly. It came absolutely from there, and it came also because Olaf knew that in that moment, in around March, April 2008, the band was more or less exploded. So uh, Pierre
The,
Gonnella decided to left the band. Matt Stanchoyu decided to leave the band.
I love that drummer, by the way.
Me
I
too.
think he's really, really good.
Matt is an outstanding drummer. Is a brother to me, and you never know. You can't imagine how many times we asked him to rejoin the band in this last. So, but
Oh my God.
so,
I really love his style,
yeah,
especially on
yeah,
Sons of Thunder. I think he does a tremendous job.
absolutely, absolutely. And believe me, you know what happened during his recording session for that album? That album, Sons of Thunder, was recorded totally, fully analog. So we recorded the
Oh,
album
old school.
on 20, yeah, on 24 tracks. Okay, the typical
Wow.
big tape. And he recorded the album in 1 day
My God.
because Matt also our new drummer, same name, Mattia. I
Yeah.
think it's a matter of name. In 1 day, he did the same for this album. In 1 day, he recorded everything. So Matthias Tanchoyu is absolutely amazing. And as I told you, he's a brother. But the reason why he doesn't play with us anymore is because it don't absolutely doesn't want to play live. It doesn't like to
Oh,
play.
okay.
So he preferred to stay in the studio. He preferred to produce. He has his own studio. He produces bands. Sometimes plays for the bands, but no more live sessions for him.
Yeah, that's a choice. You
Yeah,
you got to respect that.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But I get the at least you have a really good drummer. Uh
Amazing, amazing.
and wow. I was so happy when I heard that there will be a Return to Heaven the Night Part 2, and I was quite worried at the same time because it's always
No,
like a dangerous ground to try to
no,
pull that off. But I think you did it in a fabulous way because that album is sticking with me since the release, and some of the best songs of the band are featuring on that album. So and the spirit was really recaptured, I think.
exactly, exactly, exactly. There are many, many great songs in that album, and I keep it in my heart for many reasons. Also because uh, in that album I was the bass player, so I played the bass guitar as I did in also in 6 Days to Nowhere, and uh, and everything was also in that case very, very organic because that album was recorded together in a studio in near Genova. So not only the drums but also guitars and bass and keyboards were recorded together in the same studio, which is a crucial difference for an album.
But you know the best formula, I think, now for Labyrinth. Your best album are made like that.
Yeah, absolutely,
Being
absolutely.
all together into one room and let's like
Sure,
get
sure,
out that stuff. And
sure, absolutely.
I have something in my mind for quite few years, and I just want to know your take on how it is to like collaborate with Olaf and Carlo and Andrea Cantarelli. I think both those guys on guitar are complementing each other so well. They have like so much feelings. Olaf is more technical. I think Andrea is maybe a little more on the feeling side, but both solos on almost every song they are doing each one their solo, and how you see the magic happening live, like they are building those solos, and I'm like, fuck, how you do that?
They, you know, they knows each other since 91. So they started together since the beginning. And I joined the band in 97. And
Yeah, after the first album, No Limits.
exactly, I started in March 97 and I started to record with them the demo of Return to Heaven in 1997. So, and after that, I played together with them a lot, tons of gigs and records. So um, everything is really also in that case really organic, and that's the reason why we are still me, Olaf, and Andrea, the three original members. Okay,
Yeah.
we are still three of us, um, and we don't have to say nothing because I don't have to ask them what they have to play. They don't have to ask me what I have to sing. Of course, every time I sing something and I sing a new melody, I send immediately to them a demo if we are not in the rehearsal room as we did this time. But we really don't have to explain nothing. We produce music and we go in the same direction. That's magic.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, you're all complementing each other,
Oh,
and
exactly.
it feels so natural, and it's not Olaf will do a solo and Andrea will do his, and you will. There's no clash. It goes so naturally.
Exactly.
And what do?
It's not a matter of ego.
Oh
Okay.
no,
No one say, oh, here I have to play two notes more than you. Ah, here I have to sing higher than you. No. We
no.
play for the same reason to produce the best music possible for Labyrinth. So it's not a matter of ego. Ego destroys everything.
Oh
And
yeah,
maybe when we
you
were
gotta
young,
serve the song.
yeah, when we were young and crazy. So some tantrums, some problems, some stupid things pop it up in that moment. But also in that moment, not so much. But nowadays, nothing. Nowadays, we have just one goal: produce the best music possible for Labyrinth.
And I think on that particular Blu-ray that you played, the whole Return to Heaven the Night album, if you don't have this Blu-ray, that live album is one of the best I heard in my fucking life. And I think
Right.
it's a really organic interpretation of that album because it's not exactly the same. It's a
Sure.
version, especially vocally, you like do it more with how you feel. I heard you talking about how you perform live those songs, and people. I remember when you launched the first Moonlight video for,
Yeah.
and there was some comments. Oh, he's not singing like on the album, blah blah blah. And you went to that guy and said, "Yeah, I'm seeing Moonlight differently since like almost the release of that album." So
Exactly.
and I thought that performance was different, but so much more powerful, even especially with the end that is like I don't know, 2 octave higher, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
right,
what
right.
the fuck?
Exactly. Because everything started from the fact that when I recorded the album, um, I didn't took the right courage to do that on the album. But
But you have
when
it in mind,
absolutely have it in mind. But I thought it was too much for the album, and
maybe.
maybe it was too much. But since the first time that we play live, I play like that. I sang it like that. So
So I think it's just a add on the live
exactly,
performance.
exactly. It's not the less. It's something more actually.
Yeah, totally. And you did that on some other songs, and I think the solos are almost the same as on the
Oh,
album.
oh,
There's a couple of extra notes here and there, not too
oh,
much, but it feels so good. It's just another experience of that album, and I like that. If I want
exactly.
to hear anyway the record exactly how it is, I will listen to the record. But
Bravo.
live, I'm glad
Exactly.
you are doing something else. Yeah.
Thank you. I agree with you.
I have a question out of nowhere. You did a song called Beyond the Space, Beyond the Time with Pathfinder,
Yeah.
the Polish band. I
Yes.
think that song is so glorious, and your performance in that song is one of the best you ever did in a metal album. Uh, you have something to say about that experience you had?
Well, the guys contact me and send me the demo, and I say, okay, I can do it. Okay, you want me to push and sing in a range that maybe is not mine, but I will try to do that, and I did it. And sometimes I went over the range that they proposed me intentionally. So I did with them what I didn't with Labyrinthe in Moonlight in '98
Yeah,
during the album. But the song itself, as you told, is great. The song is great. The band is great, and
Yeah.
the guys are still in my heart. Absolutely.
I think the soft parts when you sing really, really
Yeah, yeah,
high,
yeah, yeah,
man. With there's a girl singing also, and both
yeah,
voices are oh my fuck.
yeah, yeah.
Because I didn't know you were featured in that album, and when it came out, it was like a mix of Rhapsody and Dragon Force,
Oh,
or people
sure,
were went crazy for that stuff. And
sure.
when I heard the song for the first time, fuck, it's Roberto, because you're so easily recognizable, and
Thank you, man. Thank you so
that's
much.
something great that you have. It's like
Thank you
Rob
so much.
Alford, you know it's him. Freddie Mercury, you know
Great.
it's him.
Yeah.
But Roberto Tiranti, we know it's you.
Thank you so much. That's something amazing that you say.
No,
Grazie.
that's true. I'm not throwing compliments like that to
I know,
anyone.
I know, I know, I know. I know.
And how do you keep that voice in shape? You said you're in the beginning of your 50s. Yeah, training,
Yeah,
good Italian food.
I sure, why not? I am a teacher actually. I teach vocal technique, so I know how to handle my voice. I don't smoke. I don't drink.
Oh, it
I
helps a
drink,
lot.
I drink, but not too
Yeah,
much.
yeah, sometimes a good glass of wine is cool, a good high school beer
I, exactly. No, 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 no. I like good wine and good beer, but believe me, not
on a
near
daily
the
basis.
concert, not during the performances. Trying to sleep in the right way, try to eat in the right way. So uh, try to keep in a decent shape. So that's important because uh, if you want to last more than the normal average age, you have to take care about yourself, and that's the only thing that I do actually, trying to taking care and keep the shape right, also for the vocal cords, for everything that means a good performance.
Yeah, your your voice sounds like you're still in your 20s in this new album.
Excellent.
Just
Yeah, yeah,
seriously, I couldn't tell the difference between a record like Return to Heaven Tonight and your voice right now is still in the best shape I heard you. So that's
thank you
cool.
so much, man. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. And what will be your bands that you like to listen to, singer, artists that you metal or not? I don't care. Just what you like to listen to.
I still heard I still heard many bands. Of course, I'm not inside the new music. Actually, not so much. I still hear music from the past. So hard rock and heavy metals from the 70s, 80s, 90s. Uh, Many other kind of music, many other styles. Of course, from Stevie Wonder through Gino Vanelli
Oh,
through many different kind of music. I love Porcupine Tree. I love many bands and many situations, but uh, not new stuff. That's the problem. That's the problem. I have to say that I try to listen to new stuff, but the world changes too much and very fast. So I'm still inside the old music.
that's cool. I wanted to hear about you. You talked about outside of Labyrinth. You
Yeah.
said you're a teacher. What what is the week of Roberto? Normally, what is your other passion except being in a band? Music, obviously. And do you like, I don't know. Tell me a little bit about you.
I don't have enough time to have other kind of great passions nowadays because I teach since usually since Monday to Saturday, and I
Okay,
have my yeah
that's a
yeah
lot.
yeah a lot. I have my place in Genova, in the city in which I live,
You
and
live
then
in Geneva,
yeah,
in Switzerland.
no, Genova,
Oh,
Genova in
Genova. Okay, okay.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
Geneva.
No,
Okay.
no,
I,
no,
I
no,
was
no.
like, I was in Geneva like a
Yeah,
month
yeah,
ago.
yeah. No, no.
I went in
Genova,
France also.
Genova near France, exactly near
Yeah.
France. And I teach in another school 2 days in during the week in 80 k's from home in Piemonte, in another region. And
Okay.
then sometimes I teach in Rome, but a couple of times during the month. And of course, um, I have many other things that I like to do. I have two dogs, and I love my dogs, and I love to stay with them and with my wife. And we have also a little house in up in a mountain, in a little village where you don't also have the telephone signal. So in the middle of
Oh,
nowhere. So it's something amazing that we love. I love
oh, rustic,
absolutely. I
like the
love to,
old time.
yeah, I love to stay in the woods or up in the mountain with the dogs. I love to cook. I prepare a wonderful pizza. I prepare a wonderful pesto.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I love to cook my own pizza, and I think I the crust. I think Italian pizza has the best crust. It's like
yeah,
fluffy
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, but maybe one day we can taste our pizza. Maybe I hope
Oh, that
so.
will be great. Yeah. And
Yeah, yeah,
I was watching an Italian saying all the tricks to do the best crust,
exactly,
and
exactly.
there's a lot of many steps to get there,
Many
but
different things. Yeah, sure. But as I told you, that's what I love. Of course, uh, I also love. I still have passions and sort of hobbies inside the music. So I also a bass player. I also a musician. I love to produce, and I used to produce other people. Quindi, so I produced people that went to my house just for recording their voices. So
okay.
I provide to record their voices, and other people ask me to produce completely a song. So I do the job like a little producer, and it's something that it's really funny, and I love it. So I take care of my instrument, my bass guitars, my guitars, and many
Oh, you
many
play
things.
guitar as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I play guitar, I play bass guitar, I play keyboards, and um, music still remain the first choice. But when I have to leave the music in a way or in another, as I told you, I took my dog and I go in the forest. I took my dog and I go on the sea. I live in a wonderful place which is near to the sea and near to the mountain. So
Oh wow,
I
so you
really
have both.
exactly I have both. So I really love to work inside the nature and to live inside the nature and to breathe the nature. So
Fresh
that's
air.
absolutely, absolutely
Oh yeah, I know about that. I live in Quebec City, but I'm from a small town like 7 hours drive from here, and the woods are really close. The sea is really
amazing.
close. There's no mountains, unfortunately, but it's really cool to get there and just lay off about all the technology and just enjoy the good old things, like yeah, talking with humans.
Yeah, yeah.
So I get that part. I love the city, but at the same time,
And
I need.
of course, of course, the place in which you live is amazing, absolutely amazing.
You know, you've been here in Quebec.
Never, and
You
but I
should.
want to come there because I think it's a dream. Of course, not the city itself, but everything around. It's wild and amazing.
Yeah, but the city itself, the downtown, looks like Europe.
Exactly,
To be
exactly.
truly honest, and but you have a lot of great nature to experiment and to see, and yeah, there's a lot of things, and
Yeah, amazing.
the big distance, so you have to drive a lot to cross another city, so it's not all packed. Yeah, so
Great,
so
great.
that's cool.
Yeah.
What will be your three favorite Labyrinth album? Your personal choices. You don't have to say any. What the albums that you're the most proud of?
Uh, of course, if you ask something like this to a musician, the musician say the last that I did. But if if I have to if I have to answer in a cold way, I can say that there is the last one, the two albums. It's not easy to choose because every album has an history. Every album touch a peculiar moment of your life. So of course, this last one maybe is the first album that I can say I have nothing to complain.
Okay,
Every time,
you're
yeah,
100% satisfied.
yeah, fully satisfied because every time you release an album, at the end you say, "Oh, it's great," but I could do this, I could do that. Not in this album. In this album, for me, is exactly what I wanted, and I did it, and we did it. Of course, this album is great for me. Keep deep in my heart the self-title from 2003 for many reasons. Uh,
Me too.
and of course, uh, if we have to talk about uh, the favorite album, I can align myself to the rest of the world when I say Return to Heaven Denied, because Return to Heaven Denied was an again was a sort of uh, was a game for me. When Olaf called me and he told me in '97, I am Olaf Thorsen. I'm the guitar player from Labÿrinth. I guess you know this name. And I honestly answer, sorry, no, I
No.
don't know you because I'm out from the metal bands in Italy, and I'm sorry, so sorry, but I don't know. Oh, no problem. But we had your album from Vanexa, from a common friend, so we think that you can sing with us. And give me your address, I will send you a tape. And he sent me a tape with a couple of songs that were State of Grace and Night of Dreams, already
Night of
sung.
Dreams. Oof.
Dreams is wonderful song.
That
And
song. Oof.
both songs were sung by a great singer. At the moment, they found a great singer that didn't decide to join the band. I
It
don't know
wasn't
why.
Fabio Leone.
No, no,
He was already out of the band. Okay.
working out. So I received the tape. I called Olaf and I said, Olaf, listen, but you have a great singer here. I hear a wonderful singer. Why? I think you don't need me. No, he's a very good singer, but he won't stay in the band. He will not stay in the band, so we really need a permanent singer. I said, okay, let's do it. Let's try it. Okay, we can have a sort of auditions uh, in a couple of weeks, and everything started like a game to me. Believe me, I never thought, I never thought that we will have Metal Blade immediately one important gig like Gods of Metal, um, and that this album nowadays, after almost 30 years, in Italy, and not only in Italy, is considered like one of the best power metal album ever.
Yeah,
And that's for me is absolutely important, and it's still deep in my heart.
for sure. It was the beginning of a big adventure. It's a big
Exactly.
part of your life since then.
Exactly.
And I'm glad you did it.
Yeah, me too, absolutely.
We'll not have that conversation today for sure.
Sure.
I'd love to see you. I am always for the last 3 years, and I will be there next year. The 70,000 tons of metal. Olaf went there with Vision Divine, and I saw them, and I, I think it will be a great experience to have Labyrinthe doing 2 shows. It will be awesome for a lot of people in North America that never had the chance to see you.
We risked to be there this year because
Oh yeah,
yeah,
there's discussions.
uh, the organization asked us to join the festival 10 days before the festival, which is
Oh,
which
impossible.
is
They did the same with DGM, I think.
exactly totally impossible at first for the documents that you have to produce to be there, and
Yeah,
then of course for many other issues that you can easily understand. But maybe next year, maybe next January will be here, maybe.
It will be crazy. Just for
I,
that, I will book, but I'll be there anyway. But it will be a confirmation for sure.
yeah, I will tell you. You will know if it happens. You will know it before the rest of the world. Believe me.
Oh, thank you, man. You will send me a text. Last question. Your I talked about best album, best songs that are like anchored in your heart from Labyrinthe. Because I have a lot of them. You talked about the Night of Dreams.
So,
And when you did A New Dream on The
yeah.
Architect of God, I think that song was reviving something in me. Uh,
Oh, oh, sure, sure, sure.
so I
But
will let you.
there are many songs for me that are important. But um, of course, I return to Heaven Denied because maybe Falling Rain for me is the most important one because
Oh,
is
yeah.
the first song that I in which I wrote the melody. So
Oh,
I
that you
wrote
were
the
involved.
melody in that album. I work on the melodies. The first was Falling Rain. Then I wrote uh, Die for Freedom and New Horizons. Those three songs were
The
without melody.
Horizon is my favorite Labyrinth song.
I love that. I love
Truly,
that.
if I have to choose one, this
Uh,
is the last song I will hear from the band. That's my choice. Such a
sure,
perfect song.
sure, sure. I agree with you. I agree with you. And that's the reason why we still play that song in our set list with Falling Rain, for example. And
Yeah, that's a
uh,
great song too. Great ballad.
yeah. Falling Rain was is the typical ballad, and as I told you, is the first song in which they asked me, okay, the song is has no melodies, do your job, and I did it.
Great job.
We will do it.
That's great, man. Hey, thank you for sharing all these stories. I learned more than I thought, and because that's what I try to do, to send question and let the artist just talk. And
Absolutely,
I like to hear things that I wasn't expected to hear, to learn. And it was a great talk with you. And we'll keep in touch.
absolutely.
And and I will tell you when it will be online. You want to say a conclusion to any fans of Labyrinth?
Well, I have to say that I thank them from the bottom of my heart because they are the reason why we are here in 2025 and still struggling, trying to find our path and something good for this band. Uh, we really hope to have a chance to play there in your country. We really have the chance to play again in the US. Maybe in 2026 we will have some gigs in South America and in Japan again.
Oh,
Uh, but you know, as I told you in the beginning, it's really hard nowadays to produce a tour or to produce gigs out of your country. And at the same time, in our country, it's not easy to produce gigs because um, heavy metal in our country is not that big anymore. So
no,
there are
that's what I
many,
heard.
yeah, there are many other kind of music, shitty music nowadays that wins on
Yeah.
everything.
Don't
So
start with that with me.
exactly. So, but as I told you, I thank you, of course, at first because you are so nice and you asked me wonderful questions and was very very nice to be here with you. But also with all the people that will listen to this album, this new album, and all the people that is continuing to write us and say that this is a good album. That pays off our heart and our efforts in a great way. So thank you so much.
I think they are telling the truth. It's truly a great album, and the last few albums have been all not short of amazing. This one, I think, is a stemple that Labyrinth is stronger than ever, and I'm just glad we are able to share this with people that maybe didn't have the chance to listen to the record yet, but you have to do it because it will be a contender for album of the year. Absolutely. In power metal, but in metal in general for me.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much, man.
So, so long and thanks for your time and for sharing all these nice stories.
My pleasure. Hope to see you soon. Keep in
Saluti,
touch.
amico.
Ciao, amico mio.
Ciao.
Ciao.